Hello and welcome to the Triple Trio, your weekly look at all things Hong Kong racing. My name is James Ferris, warming the seat for Jason Richardson, but joined by a couple of our regular panellists in Clint Hutchison and Shane Dye. Hutchie, good to be with you again. My favourite time of the week I get to spend with you talking all things Hong Kong.
That's very nice for you to say that, JT. Now, I'm looking forward to the show. I mean, we've got a lot to recap over the last week. There's been a number of highlights, and it's a good card at Sha Tin on Sunday where we can hopefully find a few winners.
Shane, always be good to be alongside you, mate. How's things in your part of the world?
Had a good week. Wednesday night was good. Backed a couple of winners, which is always nice. And now looking forward to Sunday's racing.
Before we look forward, Hutch, time to reflect. It wasn't a big week as far as feature races and things like that go, but still plenty of talking points and highlights.
Yeah, there were. A couple of winners for us, fortunately, that we managed to find. We're still a little bit down on the season, so it's been a tough start, but fortunately we found a couple of winners here and there.
All right, let's check out some of the highlights from the week that was in Hong Kong racing.
Max Q looks a very good chance. It's a thin race. I didn't think there were too many chances.
It's Aero Invincible. Max Q. Adzani gets stuck right into him now and he takes over from Aero Invincible, and also No Other Choice and Positive Smile, and Max Q. Max Q wins.
Troy Powell, he went really good first up last season, up the straight, and his trial the other day was very good. He actually probably trialled better than the favourite in the same trial.
Metro Power, he's out by 3.5 Alfonso, and then came the all out. He'd go back to his old name here, Loose Lips Sink Ships. He's now Metro Power and he's sunk them in the 7th.
Master of All will land on pace. I think there's a map advantage for that horse.
Master of All, I think, will get the right run.
Out wide, Joy of Spring, and also winning gold. He's lifting Master for All, and he's getting away again, and it's a treble for Bedell. Master of All won the last.
All right, some good results there, and hopefully some full pockets for the viewers. A good week for you, and a good week for Casper Founds. He's roared into the Trainers' Championship standings.
Yeah, he certainly has. Shane, he's the king of the valley, as we well know, and 4-timer during the week. The horses are absolutely flying, and this was the final of his 4 winners in Low Rider. What did you think?
Yeah, it was a good win. I didn't think he trialled great before this, but of course he ran 4th in the Derby last year with a very good ride, getting a soft lead. And he did go very well last season, fresh first up, and he's backed it up here. This was a strong race, this. So it was a good win, and I'm sure he'll go on now and have a good season. Of course, he didn't win last year, Clint, and he went up quite a bit in rating points for not winning, but he's come back in fine form.
Do you think Casper will be a stable to follow in the early months?
Oh, definitely. I had a look at his entries this morning for next Wednesday, and oh my God, he's got some great chances even next Wednesday at Happy Valley. Mate, I don't like to be around Casper when he's not king of Happy Valley. You know, he's sad. He loves to be the king. He's got a spring in his step and he's a different person. He'd be very, very happy going home on Wednesday night.
Yeah, he certainly would be.
How important is it for these trainers to hit the mark nice and early in the season and set the tone, Hutch?
Yeah, I mean, it sets up your season, really. So we're going to talk to, of course, Jamie later in the show, and he's also started really well. But it is very important, and usually if you're going to be there at the business end, you've got to have a decent start. The one trainer that defies that's John Size. He usually starts quiet and then just builds into it, but the rest of them don't.
Well, you touched upon it. Big show coming up. I like to think that it's a bit of star power when I sit next to you, but we might take it to a new level with Jamie Richards, our special guest today.
The real star, mate. The real star. No, just happy to be along for the ride, like I said.
Plenty else to look forward to. You're going to take us to school a little bit later as well?
I am, yeah. I'm looking forward to having a chat to Jamie, and of course I'm just going to run through a little bit about the Hong Kong Jockey Club website with regard to horse names and when they change and how you can find out what they're called.
We've got the Idol, Global Racing, Inside Running, all to look forward to, the Social Stable. But let's kick it off from the top and find some winners. A big weekend coming up, and Sunday is for Hong Kong racing. All right, 3 races to take a look at this weekend at Sha Tin, and we're going to go straight to the pointy end of the card, probably the feature on paper, Hutch, and that's race number 9.
Yeah, it's a nice race, that's for sure, the 9th event, and put up some of my early market, and there's a horse that's already run this season, Gorgeous Win. I reckon about a 5.50 chance in my early rated price. Tomodachi Kokoro, regularly we see line up against this field. Dancing Code won at the end of last season. Harmony and Blessed doesn't end there. It's a very competitive race, and this was from last season as well. Now, it wasn't an easy day to make up ground here, Shane, but I thought Dancing Code did a pretty good job to level out and win this race against some key rivals.
Well, he raced pretty well most of the season, and he does go well fresh. I think he ran fourth first up last year, but the season before he won. He's going to get a good run from gate 4. £5 off his back's going to help, and he'll get his chance to win.
Really like this run, Shane, from Gorgeous Win, back, wide, off the track. This is the sort of form that needs no introduction. You've got Karying Rising winning it. Look at the manner in which Gorgeous Win hits the line. I think it was the 22nd best final 400 off a really good speed. And now you get Hugh Bowman, gate 1. So there's some positives.
Gate 1's a big thing, Clint. He'll get back a little bit on the fence, like 3 back the fence, but he can save ground, get an easy run. And with £133, he'll do no work. He's going to be very, very hard to beat.
Yeah, as we have a quick look at the market, Sing Dragon, probably more of an all-weather type horse, although he's run the occasional good race on the turf as well. And Brilliant Express is an interesting run. I got sort of around that $13 mark. And another key runner or interesting runner could be Young Champion, who's had the one run back. Look, Shane, it was a really plain effort, I thought. There was decent speed. He did no early work and he didn't really hit the line. He's usually competing over 1,400, but he's had a benefit of a run now and he drops back to 12. What did you think of his chances?
I can't work this horse out. Sometimes he looks impressive, Clint, and you want to be on him next start, and then he just doesn't perform. Overall, I think he's been pretty disappointing from a couple of early runs when he arrived. I don't want to be on him, but if he won, it wouldn't be a surprise. He's going to be one of those horses in his career in Hong Kong, I believe.
Yeah, it's interesting he says that because when he ran on the first day and Richo was not really a fan of that horse. He said he couldn't work him out. I think we're both leaning towards that way now.
A bit hard to catch.
Yeah, he's unpredictable, but he's capable of running well.
Shane, we're going to follow you in here. What do you make of the ninth event? Who have you got on top?
I'm just going to copy Clint and go Gorgeous Win. I think he'll get the right run in the race. Of course, Dancing Code and Tomodachi Kokoro, who trialled really well the other day. His trial was very good and his form at the end of last season was good.
Yeah, it's an interesting race because there's not much between a few of these, JT. Like, they all seem to take turns a little bit. They compete against one another often last season, and sometimes it can just be sort of right stage of prep or who gets the right run. But looks as though Gorgeous Win, I think, is the one to beat. Okay,
so Gorgeous Win for HUTCHI. Let's rewind a couple of races and go back and have a look at race number 6, another one that we wanted to highlight and hopefully find the winner of. Who stands out here for you?
Yeah, it's a handy little race, the 6th event, that's for sure. Well, I've got Wonder Star as the favourite, pretty short. I could have him a little shorter. My early rated price is 290, about 290 odd, but I might bring him in a little bit. Victory Sky was in terrific form last season. Sky Trust for Casper Founds. And an interesting runner called the Red Hare, who formerly raced in Queensland. But Shane, Wonder Star, first up, there was strong speed here. It was a very handy horse that went on to win the race. But now he's had the benefit of the run. I think Wonder Star might find his race.
Yeah, he can. He raced really well at the end of last season, Clint, of course, winning. And he looks like he should get a soft lead here. And if he does, that's going to benefit him. He's definitely got a very strong chance. This race here on TV was stronger than the race he's running in.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that. And, of course, we've made Akash Farnier Sid recently out of that race because they really ran good time, JT. Sky Trust is an interesting runner in the race, absolutely no doubt about that, based on some of his better form. And we'll probably take a look at Victory Sky, actually. Victory Sky, Shane, look up, he's got to be there or thereabouts. He's sort of had his chance a few times. That the leftist screen is Master of All, of course, who won last week as well. So this form's sound enough to be competitive.
Oh, definitely. He had a very easy trial a couple of weeks ago in China and he went all right. He goes well, this horse. He's pretty consistent. He's definitely not the worst and he'll go well, Victory Sky. He'll get back a little bit, I thought.
Taking a look at a trial.
Like midfield.
Yeah, we'll take a look at a trial from the Red Hair. This was nice work. He's had a few runs in Hong Kong. He hasn't really had the rub of the green chain, I feel. And this is a sort of an easier assignment for him and he all of a sudden might get some favours, and he's a horse that's going in now to his second preparation as well in Hong Kong, and I think he might be ready to show something.
Yeah, he trialled well. I don't think there's a lot of chances in this race, and he's definitely a place chance on his trial. Got an awkward gate 9. I thought he might go back, even though he went forward at the trials. But he's not the worst. I've got Victory Sky on top from Wonderstar and Sky Trust. We haven't talked about Sky Trust. He won first up last year, and it was a good win, but I can't work him out, Clint. He hasn't had a trial. He's had an operation on his throat, I believe. So to me, it comes down to his body weight, and we haven't got those figures yet. That'll be up tomorrow night. That'll be interesting to see how heavy he is, but it's hard to gauge him, Clint.
Yeah, it is difficult from that perspective. It's good that we get the body weights up, JT, but he's a tricky one because his form's good enough, but we're sort of not sure where we're at with him. I think the market will be quite important with regard to him.
And we finish with race number 10, the last on the card. Time to find a winner here as we bring the curtain down. Hutch, what are you doing with this race?
Interesting race. Lucky My Way I've got on top. He needs to improve his overall speed figures, but I think he's a very progressive horse with an unbelievably good turn of foot. Storm Rider trialled well recently. New Future Folks is another one that can figure. Wasn't given a hard time in a trial. Lopan Spirits had the benefit of a run. Shane, what have you made of this horse by the name of Lucky My Way?
He's looked very good, Clint. He didn't have any form going into his first up run, of course, off his trials last season, so he surprised me. But he's going to get back. He's going to run on. He probably actually wants 1,400, Clint, but he's a nice horse, and this is not a strong race.
No, I think it's a winnable race for him. Like I said, on my figures, he's still got to improve a little bit, JT. Storm Rider seemed to trial well, I thought, Shane?
Yeah, he trialled all right, and he's kind of on his mark. You know, you got a consistent horse who's never far away. He's not going to win every time, but every 6 runs, he's probably going to win a race where he gets in the right race and gets the right run. That's him. And he might have found his right race here, Clint. This is him up in China trialling, and it was okay. Didn't have too hard a trial here.
No, of course, Light Youth Glory was also in the trial, didn't do much, but that Storm Rider out wide in the yellow cap, just working home really well. This is a horse, JT, that when he trials well, he usually races well. Big plus, and he'll be attract a fair bit of market support with Zach Purton on board and drawn a reasonable gate. Do you giving Tactical Command any chance? I personally think he's better at the Valley, but what's your take on him?
Well, he's going to Class 3 now for the very first time. And if you'd asked me this time last year, is he a Class 3 horse, everyone in the world would have said no. So Mark's done a really good job with him, and he raced very consistently all season. So, you know, he's going to get back, he's going to run on, but is he on his mark now? That's the question.
Few questions to answer, Shane. Ultimately, who have you found on top in the last?
I've got to go Lucky My Way. He's going to get back, so a lot will depend on the track. So by race 10, everyone will know whether they can get back and run on, or it's a leader's track. If it's a leader's track, you don't want to be on him. But he'll get back, run on. So I've got the 3 on top from Storm Rider and Magnificent 9, who'll get a very cushy run in behind from gate 2 with no weight. He won't be far away.
All right, there's a look at 3 of the feature races on the weekend. Of course, HUTCHI'S Honkers for the entire card. Get involved there, and we'll come back a little bit later in the episode with our best bets across the course of the weekend. But time for a break now on the Triple Trio on the other side. Bit of star power. Catch up with Jamie Richards.
Patch of Watch half to his outside. Then came Colourful Winner. Next Loving Vibes, followed by Noble Fans. Groovy Feeling out wide is making some ground. It's still Car Ying Resilience with 100 to run. Over Patch of Watch. Groovy Feeling and on debut Victory Champion down the centre. Groovy Feeling through the centre. Victory Champion out wide. Groovy Feeling. This one for Jamie Richards. The favourites off his back now, Mighty Steed, and he's there to challenge, and so too is To Infinity, who's barreled down the centre of the track, and he's hit the front, 150 to go. Satanta gives chase with Take Action. To Infinity, Mighty Steed kicks the auspicious late with Satanta. Mighty Steed after To Infinity at the post. To Infinity has won over the favourites. Hasn't the Richard stable started with a bang? Hook to the outside is Victor the Rapid. It is Giant Leap up on the outside. Lucky Planet is still there. Dragon 4 Seas. Here comes Storming Dragon with a run. Storming Dragon has hit the front. Running on from the tail as King of Fighters between runners. Here's another win for Richards. Comes to the races with a couple of horses tonight, and he wins.
Time to shift it up a gear on the Triple Trio. It's time for Star Power, and we've got a lot of Star Power. Jamie Richards joins us as a special guest. And Jamie, thanks for jumping on and joining the Triple Trio, mate. Very timely. You've had an incredible start to the season. Congratulations.
Yeah, hi guys. Yeah, it's been great. Thanks. A little bit of a frustrating season last year, and was sort of keen to try and start strong, and thankfully it's all worked out, but they're only as good as your last winner, and we need to keep finding them.
How much was that last season the motivation, for you to have a really strong and fast start this time round?
Oh, well, Hong Kong's a pretty unforgiving place when things aren't going well. So unless you're pretty current and training winners, you're sort of in the background. So if you want to be competitive, you've got to get your horses out and running, and it's something that I haven't sort of been that good at my first couple of seasons. But yeah, we had some nice horses running at the back end of last year, and we thought we'd try and use that residual fitness to give us a bit of a kickstart, and thankfully it's all worked out well.
Yeah, congratulations on the start, Jamie. Is there other things that you've sort of tweaked along the way at the beginning, at the end of last season or beginning of this one, just to get things firing along?
Yeah, we've made a few small little changes. Ben So, who was formerly with Danny Shum, has joined the team as our assistant trainer, and he obviously travelled Romantic Warrior, and he's a good young man, and he's been a big help with the owners and the staff, and just a few other little minor things that we've changed around. Just tried to just get it going a little bit better, and I think the horses that have run well early in the season were running well at the back end of last season, so it's not like it's been a drastic change, but just a few sort of small minor tweaks.
Hey, one of those was certainly Bowl General, and he looks a really exciting prospect, Jamie.
Yeah, really happy with him. He ran well on debut, and then unfortunately got held up with a little bit of colic, but that's all been successful, and he's got through that. So thought he was pretty impressive when he won there, and he needs to keep improving, but hopefully he's got some rating points in hand, and everybody up there dreams of being involved in the 4-year-old series. So hopefully we can keep that dream alive. He's got a long way to go, but let's see how he progresses over the next sort of couple of months, and then we'll know where we are.
Yeah, Shane, you would have been taken with that performance, and overall Jamie's yard going really well.
Yeah, and he was impressive. He's going to win again. He's going to go up in grade, that. He looked very good last year because I didn't think he trialled great, and of course he come out and went enormous first up off just average trials. So that always tells me they've got more ability than you realise. So, no, he's had a fantastic start. It's good to see, and just keep it going. I'm sure you will.
Absolutely. A couple of others that are going well in the yard as well, Jamie. Storming Dragon's a horse that was a bit sort of frustrating for a lot of people, wasn't he? Following the last season, he looked like he sort of got there at the end of last season and just touched off in that. It might have been the last race of that campaign, but gee whiz, he came out and absolutely blew them away.
Yeah, he won really well there on a couple of 2 weeks ago, Wednesday. And yeah, we were a little bit disappointed that we couldn't win the last race for Ben Thompson before he went back to Australia. But he won well, and I'm not sure if he's on his rating or not, but let's see how he fronts up. He'll run again on the 8th of October, and hopefully he can run well again.
Jamie, they've announced a lot of new riders coming in, but you seem to be you're spreading it out across the board pretty well again. There's certainly some new names on the roster. What have you made of them all?
Well, I'm not sure that the jockeys that are here currently would have been all that pleased with all the new announcements, but obviously Hong Kong's a very competitive place, whether you're a trainer or a jockey. But I've sort of been waiting for Joseph O'Brien's gun to be named when he might arrive. So looking forward to him arriving, and obviously James comes up here and keeps Zach pretty honest for a couple of months, and Holly's ridden well here before. I don't know a lot about the French guy, but he's obviously ridden international winners here. So the jockeys room is going to be very competitive through the winter months here in Hong Kong.
Jubilant winner. Jamie's another horse that's been flying the flag for you recently. Talk to us about this guy.
Yeah, he won well last weekend. He's a horse that has just needed a bit of time to mature and develop and acclimatise. And he was another horse a little bit like Storming Dragon, who's probably been a little bit frustrating, but hopefully this season he might be able to put it together. Ran pretty solid time there last weekend. So, again, he'll be sort of a month between runs and give him one more 1,200 and then see where he fits in.
Must have been a bit of stable confidence, Jamie, because he was backed off the boards.
Well, certainly wasn't my money, actually, but the teams must have seen something. I think the favourite 135 from the outside was obviously pretty short, so they were looking for value. And yeah, as you say, he was crunched.
5 wins, Jamie, from only 18 runners. It's a great strike rate. How many horses are you working at the moment up there?
We've got about 48 in the stable at the moment, and some more to arrive. So hopefully we can get our numbers back up a bit. We were obviously lost quite a few stable transfers last year, and that's just part of Hong Kong. You've got to ride the highs and the lows, but we'll be a little bit light on numbers over the next couple of weeks, and then hopefully early October we can crank it up again. But the horses are training well, and they look well, and they're trialling well, and usually if they're trialling well and look well, then they go out and race well. Obviously need a bit of luck with barriers and things like that, but there's a few there that are ready to sort of kick off their preparation, and hopefully we can see them run well.
You've only got the one runner who's a little hard one to find or follow, really, Rosewood Fleetwood, Jamie. But have you got your eye? Tell us about his chances, and also have you got? This was his trial, so maybe you can just tell us your thoughts on his chances on the weekend. And have you got any other sort of imports coming in that you're quite happy and looking forward to them coming up to join your stable?
Yeah, so we've got obviously this horse here is a stayer. He's kicking off over a mile, but if he gets a suck run, he can win a place. But he won't be probably at his best until he gets to 1,800 and 2,000. But I think he has improved a little bit in the off season, so don't leave him out of the multiples on the weekend if he gets the right run. We've got a couple of sort of nice young PPGs there. A horse called Catliner that I like, and a horse called Cool Boy by Cool Boys by Perrin Kento, and Capliners by Capitalist, both good size for Hong Kong. And we've got a couple of horses arriving from New Zealand. Red Sea's one of them that's been announced during the week. He's coming up on the Cambridge stud permit for Sir Brendan and Lady Jo Lindsay. So looking forward to him arriving. And Sir Peter Vella's got a horse here, and Greg Tomlinson's just got a horse at his first trot this morning out of quarantine called Madsen, who I don't mind the look of. So, I think there's certainly a little bit more light at the end of the tunnel than there was at this time last year.
Yeah, we're looking at this horse called Red Sea, of course. The Cambridge stud setup, obviously, for those who don't know, there's a handful of really big stables around the world. I know Yulong's got one, but this, I believe, is the first runner for Cambridge stud to be in Hong Kong. Is that correct?
Yeah, so as you said, first for Cambridge stud, and there's the sort of list outlined there. There's Mary Slack from South Africa. She's had one. They're just sort of trying to create a bit more, I guess, international presence here in Hong Kong. And, it's a great initiative, particularly for the Guilo or the expat trainers, I guess, who have got connections back in their country of origin. So, looking forward to getting the old firm back together.
Just a quick question, Jamie. Wednesday night, you got a horse called Autumn Vibes in. He looked really good early on, and he should have won his first start, and then his form tapered off, and he didn't do what I thought he did. Was there a reason? And how do you think he'll go Wednesday night?
He's a horse that's just needed a little bit of time. He lets himself down mentally more than anything, Shane. He's been a bit of a barrier rogue and brings himself undone, but we're just playing the game there a little bit with him on Wednesday night. He's reserved 2, and he'll run on the 1st of October, and Zach will ride him there. So just got to make sure that we can get a run when we've got the champion jockey booked.
Jamie, while we've got you, obviously there's plenty of hype in this part of the world at the moment with Ka Ying Rising coming down for an Everest. His rise has sort of coincided with your time in Hong Kong. Have you seen a sprinter like him? I know you've trained some pretty good ones, both in New Zealand and obviously now in Hong Kong.
Yeah, he seems to be quite a remarkable horse, guys. Really looking forward to seeing how he can perform on the international stage. The times that he runs up here and the way that he does it. He's certainly going to bring an exciting element to the Everest, and it's truly become probably the most watched race in Australian racing now on the calendar. So he did a bit of work on the grass here this morning very early. He flies out on Sunday night. I watched a lot of track work with D Hayes, he sits next to me in our little perch there in the hut, and he's grinning from ear to ear, looking forward to getting him down there. So hopefully he can fly the flag for us up here in Hong Kong and bring a bit of international flavour to the Everest.
It'd be hard for Hazy to keep a lid on it, wouldn't it, Jamie? It must be enjoyable there every morning with him up and about.
Yeah, there's some wonderful one-liners, that's for sure, boys.
Jamie, mate, thank you so much for taking the time to jump on the Triple Trio. Once again, congratulations on an incredible start, and long may it continue.
Thanks very much for having me on, guys.
So Jamie Richards there, our star power guest, Hutch. It has been an incredible start.
Yep.
And for Jamie's sake, hopefully it can continue.
Yeah, he's also running really well, so hopefully he can keep that momentum going. I'm sure he will. It's clearly the best start he's had since he's been there. It sounds like Jamie's tweaked a couple little things along the way, so best of luck to him for the season.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing what his horses can continue to do. Time for another break on the Triple Trio. On the other side, it's time for HUTCHI'S Form Files.
Favourite's a little flat coming down the side. Honest Witness, he's looking to clear traffic, takes Multi-Dutch wider. New Power travels well behind them. Exceed the Wish sweeping around the outsider. Glory Cloud across the Universe Circuit. Duffy, Patch of Watch at the 200 metres. Master Champion bearing down on him. Right out wider, Exceed the Wish. New Power coming through as well. Master Champion, Patch of Watch. New Power, Glory Cloud across the Universe. Exceed the Wish, but Master Champion on the 7-day turnaround has won.
There you go. It pays to open up your little black book and pop in the horses that Hutchie puts in his sweet in defeat file. And Hutchie, already in the limited time that the season's been going, we've had some success.
We've started in the right way. Let's keep it going. I thought it was a nice performance. That had the perfect run, didn't he? But I've got a couple from the week that was in terms of horses to follow in the sweet in defeat file. And the first one will be at Top Time, James. This horse was a bit unlucky. We can see the head-on shot as well and the side vision. But Shane, this horse did get the tempo to suit. But, gee, if he gets a clear run, he probably wins. The overall race didn't rate through the roof or anything, but he'll find a similar race, and I think he'll probably be hard to beat.
Yeah, he should have won. There's no doubt. You're correct there, Clint. He was unlucky. You can see he's getting out up here. Forget all the front markers in this race. I think they run a 21.28, which was ridiculous. 4 of them went in a line, and that's why the back markers got home. So he was benefit, but it was a good run, and he should have won.
Yeah, no, he seemed to perform well. And there's another one from the Wednesday as well, and it was from Brett Crawford's stable and Encountered. I'm really pleased to see this horse back because he sort of went in the wilderness for a while, didn't really do much. It was a high-rating race won by Low Rider, and I thought he looked as though, James, he could be one to follow going forward.
All right, so there's a couple of horses to pop in the black book, our sweet in defeat file. Let's move to some horses that caught the eye because they found their way into the winner's stall. Who was your top-rated horses?
High-rating performances. Shane, well done to you, mate. You made a really good case of this horse on the back of the trial, and I know you were keen on Metro Power. You've tipped the Quinella as well. Of course, the favourite returned with Blood in the Track here, but I don't think he would have got near this horse anyway.
No, well, in his trial, he was pushed out a bit, the favourite, and this horse wasn't. And you've got to remember last season, his first up one was amazing. Now, whether he can repeat the second up, I don't know, because last year he didn't. But I thought he would go well from the gate. He would lead, and he did. He was good odds. He was overs.
Yeah, he's lightly raced. These are the peaks. I've got him running a new peak, 82.2. I mean, if he can build off that JT going forward, he's definitely going to win 2 or 3 more races. And during the week, Low Rider, who's another sort of import that brought a new peak figure for him. He hadn't really put up a number with me yet, so Casper might have a very good season with him if he can maintain that level.
All right, a couple that caught our eye. What about last week? We started the Lups Up file. Have you got anything to throw in there this week?
Nothing for the Lups Up file. Your Cantonese is very good, by the way. That's outstanding.
I learned quickly after mispronouncing it last week.
I'll be teaching you the swear words then, James. But no, we haven't got anything for the Lups Up file just yet.
We do have something for the G1 Gold Mine. Now, after last week's show, I basically spent the whole week just going on there, searching matings for my mares and trying to find these 2020 matches. And it is such a great tool for anyone, whether you breed commercially or on a hobby basis like me, to to be able to
You've
try
got
and
a couple of
improve your
mares,
odds.
right? And it's a product that everyone in the industry does use it, and it's a very useful tool.
Well, whether you're a breeder, whether you're going to a sale to try and find a horse, there are no rules. I've learned that, but you can improve your odds. And Stallion Match and G1 Goldmine are, an invaluable tool for doing that. So I have been spending all week on there just trying to fine tune those matches for those mares. So hopefully we can breed a champion, maybe a horse that'll end up in Hong Kong one day.
Yeah, there you go. You never know.
Time to bring in the Idol, Shane Dye, for his favourite segment and a lot of people's favourite segment. It is the Idol. All right, well, it is the most coveted ride amongst the Hong Kong jockey ranks. It is the Idol, as voted by our Idol, Shane Dye. Shane, a couple of rides that caught your eye over the last week. Which of the jockeys are getting some Idol votes this week?
Well, this stood out to me because it was something different. The horse drew the outside here, same to you, and he could have led, and he is a leader at times, and he was on the verge of dropping. On his trial, I didn't give him a chance, but you watch here, Mark would have told him to go back to last and give him a chance to run on, because if he had gone forward, he would have run nowhere. He would have stopped and might have beat a few home. But he goes back to last and he does the right thing. He just drops him 3 to 2 lengths last. You don't want to be outside a horse. When they're 3 lengths last like this, you relax and you save so much energy. People don't understand how much energy. And the best thing he didn't do was come up here and improve at the 800 to 600. You can't do that because a horse like this can't run 600 metres. They'll run 300 to 400 metres, but not 600 metres. So he's back last. He saved ground. And look at this horse's ears when he comes out. The prick, the thing. He's done no work at all. And he's just gone boom. And he's only got to sprint up 300 metres. And horses can do that. And it was just a great ride, a perfect ride, something different. And if that horse is ridden any other way, we'll never know. But he doesn't win on his form and his career. And, it was just perfect, Clint, for me.
Yeah, well done, Alexi Bedell. That was a really good ride. I mean, I couldn't have had him. That was one of those races we have to have another look at the screen to see what the horse was, because what's that? But no, it was a terrific ride.
But he did it, Clint, because he had the energy.
Yeah,
and he only had to sprint up 300.
And they had been going forward with him, so it was a real change of tactics. I didn't think he had that turn of foot, but well done to Alexi Bedell. He's actually started the season really well, because I know at the end of last campaign he was probably a little bit below par, but he rode well in Japan. He's come, I think he had 12 winners in Japan, so good to see Alexi back in the winners.
So we shine a light on Alexi, and we're also going to shine a light, Shane, on one of my favourites in Brittany Wong. She had a great week. Of course, I crossed paths with her when she was plying her trade in South Australia, and I think she's doing a pretty good job in Hong Kong, if this ride is any example.
Yeah, well, I want to show this because I'm watching the race, and she won this race about 50 metres after the start by not digging. Now, she comes out, digs a little bit, which is perfect, and comes across here, and I'm saying, don't dig, just sit, 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 sit. And that's what won the race here. Now, this horse outside of him pushes forward. If she digs there, she can't win the race. She does not win because she would have got him out of his stride. But by not digging and letting him get into his stride, it's what won the race. If she had dug, he would have led, gone too hard, and he would have stopped at about, I'd say, 80 metres to 100 metres, and something would have got over top of him. Mr. Energy would have got over top and beat him. But because she didn't dig there and she let the horse get into his stride, he had more energy at the end of the race, and, of course, boxed on to win. So I thought that was really good, and that's what won the race. And watching the race, me, one time, I've gone, perfect, you can win now. But if she had dug, it wouldn't have won.
Yeah, nice ride as well.
I thought I gave Alexi 3, Brittany 2, and Alex Wong on Wednesday night. Mighty Commander. That was a perfect ride for a horse who's going to get back, for a kid who claims 5 pounds or whatever. It was just perfect. It was a really good ride. And, of course, he rated the horse first. Now, boys, please don't say I deserve votes, because I know there are other good rides, and you probably do, but I'm only allowed to give 3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. And I like where you've gone with this. Hey, just quickly, Shane, just for Brittany, is there one piece of advice for the young riders that you would give, or maybe specifically her, because she is obviously improving and learning her craft? I think she's come back really well. Is there any one facet of her riding which you would give some advice for?
If I had a kid and I've never had one, I would teach them pace. You got to count in your head. If you had a bet with me, Clint, for $1,000, I close my eyes and I tell you when 30 seconds is up or a minute is up, I will be 1 second either way. So I knew pace very well. And these kids have to be taught pace, and that's what wins most races. You saw a classic example in Australia on last Saturday, Mr. Brightside. That was just a joke. That was disgraceful, that race. No one showed initiative. Everyone said it was a great ride, Craig, and it was, but he didn't have to do anything. He just went out there, went slow. Now, that's all about pace. So I'd teach them pace. That's the one thing.
Have you got 1,000, JT? I don't want to use mine.
I'll see what I can find in the wallet, Hutch. There's mostly cobwebs in there, unfortunately. But
Go on, put your money up.
Yeah, absolutely. Good to get the lesson there from Shane Dyer with some sound advice for our young riders. Good to see a couple of apprentices in the Idol votes this week. Quick break on the Triple Trio. On the other side, someone else is going to take us to school. Hutchie, Mr. Hutchison, is going to teach us a few things about Hong Kong racing. Well, it's time for the Hong Kong Racing School with our teacher, Mr. Hutchison. And Hutchie, I reckon the kids would have loved you as a substitute teacher. They would have got away with plenty.
I hope I'm a better teacher than I was a student, JT. That's all that I can say. Well, hey, I often get asked by people in Australia specifically about, what's this horse going to be called when they get to Hong Kong? And there is obviously the Hong Kong Jockey Club website, which I want to highlight and just show all the race goers that might have had a share in a horse or want to follow a horse that goes up to Hong Kong where they can find that information. So obviously you click on the racing.hkjc.com. You have to go through the racing info. Then you scroll down on the Jockey Club website. There's an icon with horses and horse former name and pedigree. So you click onto that, and then the list of names will come up. We're going to see what their former name was. We're going to see what their local name was. And you can actually either do it alphabetically or alternatively that by country as well.
Sure.
So it's pretty good. There's a horse running on the weekend named the Red Hare in Hong Kong. And of course, you click on that horse. Former name was Acapella Nova, who was trained actually by Tony Gold. And this is a horse I'm giving you a chance to as well on Sunday. You click on the horse, you get the overseas form records there on that icon, and then that has what he managed to do, of course, in Queensland as well. So good feature. So if you've got a horse, and that's the way and the path that you take in order to find out what those names were.
And it is a handy tool, Hutch, because a lot of the time the names are, they couldn't be further from each other what they were when they raced.
We might have a list, actually. We might have a list of a few of the names that have sort of changed recently and are well worth following. What have we got? Public Attention. Now, they kept that name, JT. They've kept Public Attention.
Well, that helps because he was a handy horse, or he's a handy horse.
What about Waiting for Time? Tin Fook, his new name.
I reckon that one would pass
Trialled
under
all right.
Racing Australia.
No, probably not. Chill Buddy's the new name for SpongeBob. That's a good change, I reckon. They've gone the right way there. But look, in any case, there's some of them, probably the more high-profile horses that have gone up there. I think he's definitely one to watch, Public Attention. But it's just a feature that you can use and find out on the Hong Kong Jockey Club website. So for those that are asking, take those steps. You'll be able to find out. And you get all the information. Shane, it's a great website, isn't it? You can look at their track work. You can, which we might highlight another week. If you just actually want to dive deep into each specific horse, there's so much information on the website.
The biggest thing with that website also, I believe, are the body weights. We don't get it in Australia, which is a disadvantage, not a disadvantage, a huge disadvantage to the punter. It's one of the most important things now in Australian racing. They could do it. They could put body weights up there, get the scales and weigh them, but they don't. But in Hong Kong, when a horse hasn't had a run for 4 or 5 months, you check their body weights and you see whether they put weight on, off. They've got every weight every time it's raced. It's so important when horses start racing again from a spell.
Yeah, information is king, and the Hong Kong Jockey Club do a brilliant job. Their website, the one-stop shop for all you need to know. Shane touched upon it earlier, plenty to look back on. It was a huge week of racing right around the country, right around the world, I should say. It's time for our look at global racing. Well, Well, the Mackay Diva Stakes was the Group 1 race in Australia last weekend. And Shane, I'll throw it open to you first because you've touched upon this one already. It was a Group 1 race in name and there were Group 1 quality horses. When you look at the time, though, you probably wouldn't know it was a Group 1 race.
No, it was just a joke. Two jockeys can be excused, Ben Melham and Damien Lane. They couldn't do anything. But the other three, well, the rest, it's just ridiculous, So walking and James McDonald's pulled back, which is a no-no. That horse Viva Sistina would have had an easier run if he had sat out outside of Mr. Brightside than pulling back. Whether it wins or not, that's debatable, but it would have had a far easier run sitting outside of Mr. Brightside than pulling back at the start and letting a horse who was 1,000 to 1 more or less come off the fence and get outside the leader. And then he's on a stayer and he's checking it to come back at the 1,000 metres. It's head up in the air. And then, of course, Blake didn't take off. I can understand why Blake didn't take off, but, what can you say?
Great to see.
Wouldn't have happened in my day, I know that.
No, it wouldn't have happened in your day, Shane, that's for sure. Agree with everything you said there, spot on. But Brightside, it was good to see him back. He ran well first up, and I wanted to show and highlight this because the entries for some of the Hong Kong races do close at the end of October, the exact date. And there was some narrative around horses going to Hong Kong and not performing when they leave. Well, it's just not true. When you look at the facts of this, for example, is the mile, the Hong Kong mile from last year. Voyage Bubble won it. Look at all the Group 1 winners out of this. Soul Rush came out and won in the Dubai. We had Red Lion win another Group 1. Lazat won the QE2 at Royal Ascot. And Tino's, he just slayed them during the winter months. And Docklands won it. I mean, winners galore. So it's a trip you can make. And if you do have a setback or whatever, I think from an Australian perspective, or even if you don't, it's a viable target. Your horses come back fine and you can perform. And we've seen, a race that's just one race, the Hong Kong Mile, that's thrown up a stack of winners. And it does every year. So put it on the list. It's
10 Group 1 wins for Mr. Brightside. Yeah. Now, do you think we'll see some strong Aussie nominations for international?
I'm hoping so. I mean, it was great to have representation. I know Antino, when he went there, he didn't really turn up Brightside. But, look, it was just good to see him back. He is a real warrior. He's been a great story. I think that the Hayes boys have done a brilliant job. So just a reminder as well, if you do want to go to the internationals, there's the entries from a training point of view. You just click on that QR code and away you go.
Couldn't think of anything more exciting to have a Group 1 runner in Hong Kong a little bit later this year. One man that might is Aidan O'Brien. He had a big weekend as well with a couple of wins in Ireland and the UK. Delacroix winning the Irish Champion Stakes. Very talented horse.
It was a great ride, this, actually. It was Sumi. I saw some drone vision. Love the drone shots, don't you, Shane? I mean, we didn't have them back in your day. I know you like to talk about back in the day, but the drone shots that we get these days, I suppose you had the chopper shots, but they're fantastic for racing, and it showed a really good path there that Sumi took on Delacroix.
The Golden Slipper, they always have the chopper shot. It's the best shot to see who's made a mistake and who hasn't. It's unbelievable with the coverage overhead and that Golden Slipper from the 1,200 metres shoot. You can pinpoint every jockey that's done the right thing and every jockey that hasn't, whereas on the head-on and side-on, you can't. I love the chopper shots.
Yeah.
And the drone shots, of course. Yeah. It's changed the vision of TV for racing, not only racing, all sport, Clint.
Yeah, definitely. And we've enjoyed having it on racing.com as well. It's really great, some of the drone shots that we've been getting. So long may it last.
You've got to continue to innovate. And one man that's innovating is Joseph O'Brien, and he might have a leading contender in a Melbourne Cup. And who knows, they're talking about a lot of different international targets for Al Rifa, who was brilliant in the St. Ledger.
And, of course, ridden by Dylan McMonigal, which they announced recently that we'll be riding in Hong Kong, I think, midway through the season. Shane, you've always had your sort of finger on the pulse with regard to the cups and the form. Al Rifa, very high-profile horse, and what's your take on that performance and how he could potentially run in a cup with 59? I think they allocated him, didn't they?
I have my finger on my pulse because I speak to the right people in Europe who tell me. But unfortunately, Clint, I haven't spoke to anyone yet. It's still too soon. I do know this. The horse that was scratched the week before the Melbourne Cup last week or 4 days, it was unbeatable in the Melbourne Cup, I was told, for a month. But he won nice, that horse. And, of course, he's going over. He's going to be competitive. All the European horses, if they turn up to Melbourne and they perform to their ability as they do in Europe, they've always got a chance to win.
Yep, there's the weights out too for the Caulfield Cup, of course, with the MRC, and that'll be a great day's racing as well. And, of course, the Cup itself, the Melbourne Cup.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing where these international raiders fit into the Melbourne Spring picture. And speaking of international raiders, Shane, Hong Kong's going to have a runner in the Group 1 Sprinter Stakes in Japan. How is Lucky Sweynesse going to measure up?
Well, if we go back 2 years ago, he was the best sprinter in the world, wasn't he? And his run the other day was very, very good. He might have got a little bit of the fall. He's not going to get to the heights that he did 2-3 seasons ago. We all know that. But he's going to be competitive, but it's never easy going there to race the best sprinters.
You know, I looked at that run again the other day, Shane. Like, Ka Ying was solid. He ran really well, Lucky Sweynesse. He might be back to something where, you know, he's probably a length or two off, but that might be good enough to go very close in Japan.
Yep.
I'm not sure what he's drawn, but look, he might well be back now. Like, he's had a couple of runs into him, and it's great to see him back. He's a very talented horse.
Yeah, can't wait to see how he measures up in the Group 1 Sprinter Stakes in Japan. I reckon he can go over there and show the Japanese.
Just to mention one thing, he's a Kiwi too, mate.
We like to bring that up as much as he can.
Oh, he's doing a great job.
Just like that other horse called Ka Ying Rising. He's a Kiwi. Oh, that's right, Mr. Brightside. I forgot. He's a Kiwi
The list
too.
goes on, Shane. The list goes on. So
yeah.
we could sit here all episode and talk about the star Kiwis that the Aussies have tried to claim. What we might do is take another break on the Triple Trail. On the other side, we'll catch up with the star that is Nicole Purton.
Richard Kingscote returns to Hong Kong, having secured a half-season jockey's licence with the club. And today, I'm taking the chance to find out a little bit about what makes him tick. Richard, you've been given the opportunity to ride in Hong Kong. What excites you about being here?
Hong Kong is one of the, most successful racing jurisdictions there is. So to be given an opportunity to come back was fantastic. And I think it'd be a great opportunity, not just for me, for my family as well. So I'm really looking forward to it. When I came earlier in the year, I really found the routine of the racing scene here was helpful to me. So fingers crossed.
How important was notching up the 3 winners on the dirt late in your stint in March?
Yeah, I think that was cracking to end on a positive note for everyone to see that I could ride winners, although now everyone thinks I can only ride winners on the all-weather. Hopefully we can show everyone I can ride turf winners as well. So, I mean, it was a big day, I think, and very helpful.
Leading a length and a half, Patches Stars, give me 5. What a night for Richard Kingscote. He wants every Wednesday night at Sharjah. There's 3.
You won an Epsom Derby on Desert Crown. What memories do you have of that day in 2022?
One of the biggest races of the year, and for a fantastic trainer as well in Sir Michael Stout. It was a class day. The horse was so smooth.
And it's Desert Crown that comes sweeping through to take it up. Oh, and it's all over, surely. Desert Crown has kicked right away. He sprinted away from them. A 6th derby for Sir Michael Stout. Desert Crown wins in sensational style. An easy winner.
I don't know, it was just like a dream come true, really.
Do you have a racing role model?
I always think, what would Ryan do? Obviously Ryan Moore. He's been very helpful in my career. Obviously got to work with him through Sir Michael, but it was him that really helped cement that job for me. Ryan's been fantastic to me and love watching him ride.
Are you a racing fanatic, or do you have some hobbies or interests outside of horse racing?
So at home, I take motorbikes on the racetracks. This year I have raced it. It was something I always wanted to do, and it was the only year I really had the proper chance to race it, so I got stuck in a little bit.
Are you planning on doing that here?
No.
Good
Although Chris So has said he's got a go-kart, he's going to take me to the go-karting track, so hopefully that'll be good.
Are you a superstitious sportsman?
No, luckily not.
What's your go-to meal if you don't have to watch your weight?
Oh, fillet steak and fries.
Do you have a date night movie?
Oh, well, it's probably not great date night, but I'm a big, Hobbit, Lord of the Rings fan, things like that. Probably not ideal for my wife, she doesn't like them, so. We game together though, my wife and I. We don't watch so much TV, we play PlayStation together.
What's your go-to game?
Call of Duty for us and Fortnite for the kids.
Here's a first win for Richard Kingscote. He's got another good chance tonight, and he's racing away. And it's a winning double tonight for Richard Kingscote, and he's gone and won it in terrific style. What a night for Richard Kingscote. He wants every Wednesday night at HUTCHI'S, and there's 3.
Good to learn a little bit more there about Richard Kingscote, of course, Group 1 star jockey calling Hong Kong home. And I found it interesting, his philosophy. What would Ryan do? Because mine has become, what would Shane Dye do?
Yeah, well, Shane talks to Ryan a bit, and obviously a good mentor for him, Shane.
Oh, he's a great tacticianist, Ryan. You know, that's the thing. When he gets in Group 1 races, he's just faultless. What he does is always right. He's out there and he can do things different, but he would be a great mentor. There's no doubt about that. Ryan actually helps a lot of the kids, and you've heard Vincent say that too, Vincent Ho on the show, saying he's rung Ryan for advice and whatever. And he's only too glad to help these jockeys, Ryan. So, no, he's got a couple of nice chances tomorrow, Clint, on Sunday. Fashion Legend on the dirt. I know he's got an awkward gate. He's not the worst. Happy Universe. So he's got a few horses there that could run all right this weekend.
Yeah, the boys are, he delivered last time, Richard, towards the end of his campaign. So hopefully that sets him up well for both the English riders that are over there, because it's pretty unforgiving out there. You got to deliver pretty quickly, and the style of racing is much more like, obviously, Australia than what you get in England. So they don't get a lot of time to adapt. And we had a big announcement, JT, with some of the names that are going to be coming over. Holly Doyle from the November the 5th to just before Christmas. J-Mac's going to be there for 6 weeks leading into Christmas. Got Maxime Guillon. How about some of these names? And a rider we saw here, Dylan Brown McMonagle, he was a good rider. He's a very, very talented rider. I think he'll really suit Hong Kong.
Exciting to see what they can do. Another rider that was mooted as maybe coming across, but isn't now. We spoke about Casper Founds a little bit earlier in the show, but Joe Moreira was mentioned during the week as potentially coming back.
Yeah, well, obviously the way it's panned out, there's enough on the roster, so that's a bit of shame. Maybe there'll be an opportunity for him somewhere else, but there's still some great names coming in.
We spoke to Jamie Richards a little bit earlier, but Kai Ying Rising is the horse on most people's lips, and it's not long now till he jumps on the plane and heads to Australia.
Yeah, I mean, it'd probably be one of the most watched trials when he comes down here to trial. Shane, but they're all pretty happy with him. He's obviously in the quarantine. They got him ticking over, but not long to go now. Are you going to get a chance to go down and see him in the flesh in Sydney?
Oh, I don't know what I'm doing. I like to stay at home and watch the races, Clint. But I've been asked to go down there. I've been invited to go and see him race. So I don't know. I'll work it out. But listen, Clint, if the Australian horses run to their best and Kai Ying Rising runs to his best, he'll beat them by 2 or 3.
There you go.
Time for our best bets, Hutch, as we wrap up the show. Who are you with?
Yeah, good meeting. I think that Wonder Star's got a great chance at the card. I think he's the way that I want to play in terms of my best. I think we can take the Quinella with numbers 1, 6 and 7. And, of course, that's about midway through the card, race 6. And outside of that, horse by the name of Motor, race 2, number 2. Don't need to take too many in the Quinella. I think Hazy and Zach team up with the toppy there, but Motor will be hard to beat as well.
Shane, leave us with a couple of winners.
Well, I'm going to go against Clint. Motor will be hard to beat. I'm going to go winning champion. Now, Matthew Poon's on it. Here's a bit of stats. He had 70-something rides last year without a winner. He's gone 20-something this year, but he's on 98 anyway without a winner. He's got a ride in the first race. This will be number 100, and he can win. He trialled extremely well, but Motor's got a very good chance. But I think winning champions improved from last season, so I'll go him against Clint.
Sounds like a little side bet there for Hutchie and Shane. Well, that is the show. Hope you've enjoyed the Triple Trio for another week. Hope that we found you a few winners across a big weekend of Hong Kong racing. I'm back next week. Richo away for one final week. That's all from the Triple Trio. We'll catch you next time.